Boston's beautiful too. We've had a nice time going around the city.
Lovely old buildings.
Beautiful buildings, very English in its own way. Everything's rather imperfect in a wonderfully perfect kind of sort.
The England of the America, as they proudly say, maybe.
Yeah, probably call it New England in some way. Game number 2, kicking off on Forbidden Temple. Vitality, shockingly looking to chase in this series.
Yeah, well, you know, they have been conceding games in scrims and in matches. To the side, Monkey Moon keeps up BDS's momentum.
The 50 in the sky from Seiko too, coming in from his own half, sees there, knows that he flies up awkwardly to an Alpha. Can't get the touch on the goal line. What a follow-up from Monkey Moon just to get the tap in. 15 seconds, BDS.
When Seiko started this tournament for Team BDS, they beat Gen.G 3-1. And at the time, I'll be honest, I wasn't particularly impressed with either team. It was a slow beginning, but the further Gen.G have got, the better that result is looking. And Seiko waking up. Remember when he burst onto the scene with Endpoint? How dominant he could be. A player that could take a series under his back. He's doing it again!
Finger pistols for goal number 2, 30 seconds, and what a link up between the two players. Rise taps it central, and a delicate deft touch from the opposing Frenchman.
Vitality are gonna have some serious questions asked. They already have, of course. They dropped a game versus Elevate against Complexity.
Yeah.
I feel like AJG will have nightmares about that overtime for a long time to come, and they're almost 3-0 down here. The upgrade that other teams have had around them is paramount.
Vitality with these 2 goals going to need to try and fight it back, and Rise in the midfield is going to make it even harder for them. Zen with 1 touch, but Seiko throwing himself at that ball convincingly, gets 1 challenge. Redosin left wall with Monkey Moon and Alpha going at it. It flies out in possession of Vitality. A few more bumps finding their way through though, and a double demo coming in favor of Vitality. No reset on that chance there, not enough boost, but the shot from Redosin just wide of the net.
Even Zen needs a little bit of boost in the tank. Now he's got it, he's got 76. He squishes it against the wall, and there's Alpha. Vitality back in it.
Alpha 54, allowing that B on the logo to erupt from the net. And there's a lovely challenge coming in from Zen too, saying that he is probably one of the best in the world at the moment. It's those low 50s and popping it out to a teammate. We saw it throughout spring so far, is that when he gets those 50s, he knows where his team are. He's got that LiDAR around his head. And he knows, cool, Alpha's around the back of me. Seiko sees that there's no one around the back of Vitality's net. 3-1.
I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. Rise over the top of his monitor, staring down his opponents in yellow, trying to get under their skin. He's been calm so far in this event. He's been pretty chill by Rise standards, agent of chaos that he is. But he's starting to believe, Stumpy, and so are Team BDS.
Belief is a scary thing on either side that you have it. But Rise, my word, he is absolutely full to the brim. Zen up for 1, tries to bump Rise away from the ball, and instead gets the ball contact. Now Seiko to the sky. Gosh, he looks confident today. 60 boost, a triple tap. Unable to find its way in on the air dribble. Rise up now with 1 reset. The second, the touch! Rise! Magnificent!
The Rise surprise! Look at him go! Zen's trying to get as much height as he can from within the goal. Rise picks his spot, and Rise thinks it.
What a performance from BDS in the first minute 45. A 4-1 scoreline. You'd expect to see this at the end of a game, let alone with more than half left. Vitality, what is your answer to a BDS that are stretching you thin?
And this is precisely what I want to see from Team BDS. As this is defending, Monkey Moon just sends it out wide as much as he can. Vitality, at their own pace, they always have extra gears. You think you're on top of them, they have more to offer. They change their rotations, they adjust their playstyle. Never down, never out, at least so far. They've lost 1 series in the entire split. It was in the grand finals, and they ended up winning the reset. Some would say they still remain unbeaten, but this game, they're a long way away from being that. Seiko can't quite sink it. Vitality just about keep their lifeline.
But still those scary moments. It's that 3-goal lead for BDS, and yet they continue to push. A monstrous flick from Alpha gives them possession, gives them a chance, but Rise again, waiting patiently in the 6-yard box. Monkey Moon's an option. Instead, he opts to go solo.
Rise has just been flawless. It's not just the finishes, the flip reset that you got earlier on, as well as that, it's the slowdowns, the catches, the touches.
Well, it's the game pace. Anything the BDS want, they seem to be getting at the moment, and Rise there again slowing it down.
His decision making, so brilliantly executed too. Knows when to fake it out by a few seconds. We'll call that one a fake. I'm not sure if he meant to miss, but Vitality shouldn't be able to score from it because Team BDS did get back quickly. And here's that man back on the ball. A little breezy flick. Seiko to the backboard, wants to get the second touch. Radosin, all he can do is send it towards Monkey Moon. Vitality there for every second ball.
Set up for that double touch though. It was going to be heading somewhere near the target. Instead, Rise is able to clear it away. Nothing too convincing. Seiko up high, again finds Rise. The deadly duo can't quite get the third. And with this 90 seconds remaining, Vitality answers, you need to get them on paper.
Zen tries to take out Rise, but he wriggles free yet again, dances around the ball and wins the challenge. Everything he's doing is made of gold right now. And Team Vitality, their alchemy is struggling. It's not working for them at all.
Monkey Moon corner bound yet again, trying to burn time off this ever ticking down clock. See Zen in the midfield waiting for a chance, waiting for his time to pounce. The teamwork is unbelievable from Vitality. But BDS even more so, and a miss from Radosin. It's completely open. Monkey Moon, the fifth, taking down their French opposition.
I'd be intrigued how many times this split, how many times with this team in other tournaments, Team Vitality have been 4 goals behind. I'd gently wager it's not happened before, unless I'm forgetting something. I'm sure our statistician will be able to help us out there soon, but...
Shout out Direct.
A 5-1 lead for Team BDS. This is their final form.
Radosin wants to try and sort something and get a little bit of confidence coming into game number 3, because losing that first one, we said before we started how important it was going to be for BDS. They need to begin strong. You can't go down to Vitality because they will continue. They are bloodthirsty and they are hungry. And BDS, my word, they have made sure that any wounds that they have got are completely covered up.
I mean, you speak of wounds, Team BDS, they were the blunted sword, the world champions. They were struggling. They didn't make a major until this one. Rise joins, and they just remind us how dominant they could be. This game's probably over, let's be honest, but momentum is important.
There's good speed from Alpha, taking it to the floor, fakes out Rise, sees on the sidewall, even more awkward than Seiko diving his way in. Shaw cutting it down to just a 3-goal deficit, but near impossible in those 24 seconds, especially considering the defense that we have seen coming out from BDS so far. Only 3 saves that they've made, but compared to the 6 shots that Vitality have had, they're saving half of what's being put on their net.
I mean, I feel like now Team Vitality are already in next game mode. Go next.
Yeah, for sure.
We are, of course, as well in the best of 7, which means the tactical timeout should be upon Team Vitality. If they don't take it now, I will be flummoxed.
We've just had confirmation that Vitality have already called their timeout as well. They know a 5-2. That is not acceptable. That's not the Vitality way. Ferrer didn't scrawl on those pieces of A4 and sellotape them to a wall to come into this series and lose 5-2 in game number 2. And we always talk about Ferrer and his magnificent mind.